Thank you. Thank you for all turning out for another Knitting Factory tour. And first I'd like to thank Roy and Anthony and Amy for doing a great show tonight. Now, Negativland will certainly try our best. However, something has happened. And before we begin, I have a rather unpleasant announcement to make. As you may know, the past year has been one of trial and tribulation for Negativland. We lost a record, we lost our income, and we lost our faith. Then, just when we thought that was behind us, an even greater tragedy came to call. Just a few days ago, Northern Pacific Flight 17 crashed in Trent City, Oklahoma. On that plane was our friend, Dick Vaughn. Dick was on his way to Trent City to be the guest host of Karaoke World on public access cable there. One of the many promotional opportunities he tirelessly pursued since establishing himself as the president of the Moribund Music Foundation and the driving inspiration behind 70s DJ revivals all across this country. Now, when Dick hired us to assist in his lifelong dream, the Perfect Cut Project, we thought it would be just a way to make some money. It turned out to be less than that, and so much more. Dick quickly became a friend, an advisor, a beacon of media savvy for our band. We learned a lot from Dick, and we loved him like a brother. He was one of a kind. We'll miss you, Dick. Dick Vaughn was always one jump ahead of everything, and death was no exception.
This is Dick Vaughn speaking. What I have to tell you this evening will not be an easy task, but I'll try to explain. You know, being a noted personality involves a great deal of responsibility. A responsibility to maintain a career in which the slightest error can alter, disable, or destroy one's image, be it his own or of those who rely on him. A responsibility to nurture new ideas which may someday grow into a useful source of entertainment for the masses. During this time, however, it is of the utmost importance to keep in mind those individuals who are nearest and dearest to the heart of the matter of which I speak. The true and crucial decision makers. You, the fans. Yes, as a rule, it is ultimately in the hands of those who wish to be entertained, informed, or enlightened as to who will pass or fail, who will draw the line between the immortal and the one-hit wonders. Yes, friends, for years I have been plagued with the uncertainty of not knowing my destiny as a public figure, be it in my lifetime or later on. Which brings me to the point of all of this. I am dead. Yes, you heard me correctly. At this moment, you are hearing the voice of one who has passed into a dimension in which my art has no value. It seems certain to me at this point that I will have no continuing interest in my worldly pursuits. But since I am alive as I record this, I realize that I cannot bear the thought of being powerless in relation to my former career. I simply cannot stand the thought of my adversaries snickering to themselves and to each other as they are granted the privilege of having the last word on what I've worked so hard to achieve. Because of this, I have prepared this tape. Now, I was killed in a plane crash. How do I know this? Well, actually, I've created a library of tapes to play in case of accidental death, each one tailored to a specific cause. Now, plane crashes have always been kind of a scary thing for me to think about. Just imagine my horror as I sat strapped to my seat, observing the last cruel moments of the passengers' meager, if not average, lives flashing before their eyes. trays, suitcases, and miscellaneous blunt objects, tumbling about, knocking them unconscious, shards of broken glass lacerating the faces and eyes of innocent children, and Mommy and Daddy can do nothing to help this time. The sick feeling of realization, the overwhelming shock of knowing how quickly the ground approaches. You know, I formed the Moribund Music Foundation in 1983, and 70s nostalgia was and is my idea. What about the 70s Preservation Society, you ask? Look, I don't even know what copycat came up with that one, and I don't really care, but I will say this to him. You were not first, so start telling those never-be-nothing fans of yours who think you're so hip that you failed. Why don't you try these names on for size? Minnie Riperton, Van McCoy, Judd Strunk. Those names ring a bell, boys? How about the great Jim Croce? Well, they're with me now, and you're not. Wouldn't you guys like to know what's on the other side? Looks like I beat you again. Anyway, as I wrap up, just remember my ending. It was violent, and I'm more the wiser for it. Negativland is the beneficiary named on my $100,000 flight insurance policy. My will specifies that these funds are to be used for the exciting new multimedia format you're about to witness here this evening. It will be a thought-provoking tribute and a memorial to me and to my career. Now, despite my past lack of acclaim, tonight will prove who is, was, and will always be one step ahead of the game. Yours truly, the one and only, the original, Dick Vaughn.
All passengers will leave space on flight FINAL should be at the gate ready for boarding.
All people of all nations will pass through this point of separation. Let's listen to the dispatcher.
Airlines flight FINAL, non-stop supersonic service to the New Jerusalem, is now ready for boarding at the gate of death. Passengers holding confirmed reservations for this flight may proceed immediately to this gate through the bloodstream concourse.
No sad faces seem to be here to enter the gate of death. Everybody is beaming. One of the passengers seems to be singing. Let's walk along with the portable microphone and see if we can pick up just a little of his song of praise.
Old Dick Vaughn on the airport floor had drank so much he could hold no more. So Dick grabbed his records and with a troubled brain, he ran to catch the hellbound plane. The engine with murderous blood was damp. The runway lights were brimstone lamps. The food they were serving was only bones, and the engine wine through 1,000 drums. The toilet was filled full of beer and stains, and the devil himself was the captain of the plane. The passengers were a mixed-up crew. Church member, atheist, DJ and Jew. The rich man in broadcloth, musicians in rags, record executives and wrinkled hags, black men, yellow men, red and white, all chained together on this fearful flight.
I am entering the plane now, along with the passengers, and we are greeted by our stewardess. I'm trying to figure out what she's going to do with the small two-edged sword she's carrying. She reaches out, and she has cut all earthly burdens from their bags. We should have known. After all, where these are going, earthly burdens can never come.
The plane rushed on at an awful awful pace, and they spill their coffee and scorch their hands and face. Wilder and wilder the weather grew, faster and faster the airplanes flew. Louder and louder the thunder crashed, brighter and brighter the lightning flashed. Hotter and hotter the air became, till the clothes were burned from each shrinking frame. And out of his mouth there rose a yell. Ha ha, said Dick, the next stop's hell. But oh, how the passengers shrink with pain, and beg Dick Vaughn to land the plane.
Our singing passenger pauses for just a moment, perhaps thinking about the gates of pearl that will soon be swinging open wide for him.
Welcome aboard Interworld Airlines Flight FINAL, non-stop supersonic service to the New Jerusalem. Your captain is the Lord Jesus Christ, and I'm your chief stewardess, the Angel of Mercy. You will find your seatbelt in sound 23.
The Dick hustled and bumped and danced with glee, and laughed and mocked at their misery. My friends, you pay for your seats on this road. This plane goes through the comfy mode. You bully the weak and cheat the poor. I'm the world's greatest DJ. Turn from your door. I play the hits to fulfill your lust. As you paid me, paid over till my pockets bust. Yeah, we paid full fare, and before we're through, it is only right we should have our due. The laborer always expects his hire, so all that's safe in the lake of fire. Our flesh will scorch in the flames that roar, and my words torment you forevermore. Then the wings broke off, and with an anguished cry, Dick's suit got wet, and his hair stood high.
The Lord is my eagle. I shall not walk through the valley of Erkat. Yea, though I want the shadow of doubt, I will fear no shepherd, for death art with me. Fasten your seatbelts, please.
Prayed as he never had prayed before, to be saved from sins and hell's front door. But his prayers and pleadings were all in vain. Dick Vaughn went down on the hellbound plane.
Ladies and gentlemen, it has been a pleasure to have you today on Interworld Airlines Flight FINAL. We will not invite you to fly with us again, for this is your final trip. You are now entering your eternal home. We have not served a meal in flight today because you have all been reserved a place at the great feast. Christ himself will serve you, and there will be plenty for everyone, for there is an endless supply. Help yourself. It all belongs to you.
Then Dick prayed as he never had prayed before, to be saved from his sins at hell's front door. But his prayers and pleadings were all in vain. Dick Vaughn went down on the hellbound plane.
Attention! Do not, I repeat, do not attempt to correspond with the Moribund Music Foundation of America. All letters received will be promptly returned to sender or destroyed.
This message made possible by Shell Oil Company.
Now, we're up to our long-distance dedication. And this one is about kids and pets and a situation that we can all understand, whether we have kids or pets or neither. It's from a man in Cincinnati, Ohio, and here's what he writes. Dear Casey, this may seem to be a strange dedication request, but I'm quite sincere, and it'll mean a lot if you play it. Recently, there was a death in our family. He was a little dog named Snuggles, but he was most certainly a part of... Let's go start again. I'm coming out of the record. Play the record, okay? Please.
I want the big boys to know a dead dog lives.
I can't get no satisfaction.
I'm trying to make some girl. Sock it to me, baby. Let's spend the night together, making love. Light my fire. Give me what you got. But they said there was something that got to them more than the words of the songs. But they said there was something that got to them more than the words of the songs.
Tap, quick, slow. You have a tap, 3 quick steps, and 3 slow steps.
We're counting down the 40 biggest hits in the 50 states. Here's the first top 40 hit for the Irish band from Dublin who call themselves U2. That's the letter U and the numeral 2. That's the letter U and the numeral 2. That's the letter U and the numeral. That's the letter 2 and the numeral U. That's the way I say that. I don't know how to say it.
But they said there was something that got to them more than the words of the songs.
Tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Good, very good. Okay, now let's do the girls' part.
And it was the beat.
Those, take a break here.
The beat. The beat. And it was the beat.
Go.
That's the letter U and the numeral 2. The 4-man band features Adam Clayton on bass, Larry Mullen on drums, Dave Evans, nicknamed The Edge, on... This is bullshit. Nobody cares. These guys are from England, and who gives a shit?
Here we go, the music. Tap, quick.
The beat. And it was the beat. The beat. Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Slow. Tap, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6.
Just a lot of wasted names that don't mean diddly shit. God, I hate that. We come out of that and then I gotta say the goddamn American... You know, they do this to me all the time. I don't know what the hell they do it for, but God damn it, if we can't come out of a slow record, I don't understand it.
Now you can get it a little bit. A little faster on it. Touch your knees. 4, 5, do it.
Louder and faster, louder and faster. Louder and faster, louder and faster. And it was the beat. And it was the beat. Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Tap, 1, 2, 3.
The beat.
4, 5, 6.
The beat.
Tap, 1, 2, 3.
Why are we doing it? Why have we changed something that we've been doing all along? Is it to just screw up things?
Very good. Now we're going to do the first variation in the Latin hustle. It's called a progressive step.
Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Pick it up. Tap. 1, 2, 3.
The beat.
Back. 5, 6.
The beat.
Tap. 1, 2, 3.
The beat.
Forward. Back to a basic step.
And it was the beat.
Without moving. 4, 5, 6.
I hear the American Top 40 jingle, and I say, this is American Top 40. All right. Okay, let's try it, okay?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Do it.
Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Tap. 1, 2, 3.
Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Progressive step.
Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Tap. 1, 2, 3.
Okay, I want a goddamn concerted effort to come out of a record that isn't a fucking up-tempo record every time I do a goddamn death dedication.
Back. 5, 6.
Just a last goddamn time, I want somebody to use his fucking brain to not come out of a goddamn record that is, that's up-tempo, and I gotta talk about a fucking dog dying.
Tap. 1, 2, 3. Forward. 5 again. Tap. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5, 6. Tap. 1, 2, 3. 4, 5. Very good. Now.
And it was the beat.
Let's have the guys up.
And it was the beat. Louder and faster, louder and faster. The beat. The beat.
Listen to my timing now. Ready, go. Basic. Tap. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Another basic.
The beat. And it was the beat. The beat. Louder and faster, louder and faster.
Island Records.
Island Records. Island Records. Island Records. Island Records. Island Records. Island Records. Island Records. Island Records. Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records. Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records. Island Records. Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records. Island Records.
Attractive target.
Island Records.
Attractive target. Attractive target.
They were so turned off to that music.
Attractive target.
Including myself. When I first played, I said, is this for real? Is this for real? Is this for real?
Island Records. Island Records. Island Records.
Can't be blasé about it. Might be the music business, but doesn't mean it isn't dangerous.
This is American Top 40.
Might be the music business, but doesn't mean it isn't dangerous.
Island Records.
Copying is a criminal act.
Do you have any idea what kind of jeopardy you're putting yourself in?
Copying is a criminal act.
Can't be blasé about it.
Copying is a criminal act.
Do you have any idea what kind of jeopardy you're putting yourself in?
Copying is a criminal act.
Oh, please don't sue us. Might be the music business, but doesn't mean it isn't dangerous. We're really sorry about this. We're really sorry about that.
We have to be very strict that no copies under any circumstances can be made. No copies under any circumstances can be made.
We'll play ball with it.
Do you have any idea what kind of jeopardy you're putting yourself in? This is not all rock and roll, dude.
Oh, please don't sue us.
Rock and roll, dude.
We're really sorry about this. We're really sorry about that.
Copying is a criminal act.
We'll play ball with you.
Copying is a criminal act.
Oh, please don't sue us. Oh, please don't sue us. Can't be blasé about it.
Wake up!
Can't be blasé.
Copying is a criminal act.
Wake up! The rock crop! Wake up, America! Wake up! The rock crop! Wake up, America! Wake up! Even if you too have done nothing wrong. Seeking foreign policy advice from the rock crop. Even if you too have done nothing wrong.
The rock group. You're a rock group. U2.
Even if you too have done nothing wrong, are your records perfect?
Now, understand I have nothing against U2.
Are your records perfect?
The rock group.
Even if you too have done nothing wrong, are your records perfect? Can you disprove the lies? Can you prove that you're innocent when you are next to be falsely accused? But I can appreciate how you feel. This is American Top 40, right here on the radio station you grew up with, Music Radio 138. Oh, fuck.
The slightest error can alter, disable, or destroy one's image.
And now let's go back into history a little bit.
And about power. WA6ODB with a question.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
And about power.
We
got so much power now.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
We got so much power now. That's ridiculous.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
Power and all that. That's power. We got so much power. That's ridiculous.
We have
power now. It's ridiculous. We got so much power now.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
It's not even funny.
That's
ridiculous.
Do you know how many?
It's not even funny.
That's
ridiculous.
Do you know how many?
That's ridiculous.
Do you know how many times?
That's ridiculous. It's not even funny. It's not even funny. It's not even funny.
Do you know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
It's not even funny. How many time zones?
Yeah. We have 4 in this country, right?
How many time zones?
Yeah.
1, 2, 3.
4 in this country, right?
Yes, sir. 4. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
Right?
1, 2, 3. Yes, sir. 4 time zones?
Yeah. We have 4 in this country, right?
No, sir.
We have.
Yes, sir. And
do you know how many time zones they have?
Yes, sir. 4. No, sir. I never really studied that up.
11.
11. It's not even funny.
11.
11. That's ridiculous.
11.
11. That's what we can do. We can go anywhere because we live here. We can go anywhere else.
But not only the right of free travel, I'm saying 11.
11. 1, 2, 3. Yes, sir.
11.
11.
That's how big they are.
Yeah. 11.
That's how big they are.
Yeah. I can believe that. I'm a firm believer in that.
Right?
1, 2, 3. 4. Yes, sir. 1, 2. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. The Soviet Union, the whole half side of the world.
Yeah.
And we're just one little tenth of the globe.
Yeah.
When you talk about fighting, we're a country that we're a firm believer on Christ, and it's called help thy neighbor, do not kill, do not, steal, cheat, lie from everybody. That's why we have to have computers, because nobody is perfect. It's not even funny.
You mean?
And about power, man
nobody is perfect. You know?
So what is your point?
Nobody is perfect. You know?
So what is your point?
There's two things don't talk about. One's politics, the other one's religion.
You meant?
The reason you don't talk about them is because they combine in each other. You know what I'm saying?
You know how many time zones there are in the Soviet Union?
You know what I'm saying?
Don't you kid yourself. Thanks, Glenn, for thanks for the good thoughts.
It's the height of the Cold War.
It's the height of the Cold War.
Gunsmoke is #1 on TV.
Back in California, the Lockheed Aircraft Corporation had set up a secret factory.
New Rambler wagons are selling for $1,850, including tax and license.
It was known as the Skunk Works.
Eisenhower and Nixon are still at Tucson.
There, in less than a year, it had designed and built a revolutionary new reconnaissance aircraft.
Lockheed Aircraft builds a special spy plane, the U-2.
Even the Russians are marching to a pleasant beat.
The U-2 took off on its first test flight.
The CIA is overflying the Iron Curtain with secret aerial reconnaissance, dubbed the Black Lady of Espionage. It can reach altitudes never before touched. At these dizzying heights, it's thought to be invisible to Soviet radar, the ultimate spy in the sky.
Within a year, the photographs taken from U-2 flights high above the Soviet Union would reveal that the bomber gap was a myth.
The CIA recruits military pilots to fly these top-secret missions. They're supplied with a poison needle and a destruct switch, and told not to worry about being shot down because the Russians possess neither aircraft nor rocketry capable of reaching the U-2's altitude.
More than 30 flights had been made over Soviet territory to hunt for ICBM launch sites.
For almost 4 years, the U-2 had flown safely over sensitive Soviet targets.
But I do say this, our defense is not only strong, it is awesome, and it is respected elsewhere.
Eisenhower could not reveal to his critics the real reason for his confidence, the U-2 evidence. But the U-2 was about to become very public knowledge indeed.
Then on May Day 1960, the skies darkened.
It was only days before a vital summit conference was due to take place in Paris. But the CIA believed that it had hard information about an ICBM launch site in northern Russia. Reluctantly, Eisenhower authorized the flight.
Ike gambled and lost on one last flight.
On May Day 1960,
on May 1st, 1960,
Francis Gary Powers takes off from a Pakistani base.
CIA pilot Gary Powers took off in an unmarked U-2 from a secret base in Pakistan
to fly over the heart of the Soviet Union. Halfway across Russia, the impossible happens. The supposedly invisible plane is shot out of the sky by a Soviet missile. An American spy plane is shot down over the Soviet Union, and the two world powers shake the earth with threats of war.
When Khrushchev announced that a U.S. spy plane had been shot down by Soviet missiles,
initially, the State Department tries to cover up.
The administration claimed that the U-2 was a weather plane which had gone off course.
Claiming the U-2 was a weather plane off course.
It is entirely possible.
Eisenhower goes along with the cover-up story because the State Department guarantees the spy plane is rigged to self-destruct and no one can bail out alive.
Only then did the Russians reveal that the pilot had been captured alive.
But when the Russians reveal that Powers is alive and their prisoner.
On display in Moscow, a record charge of Pilot Francis Powers' U-2 reconnaissance plane for Muscovites and foreigners men to see.
They have caught the President of the United States in a bald-faced lie. Even the CIA leaves Powers out in the cold.
I saw how devastated Ike was by the U-2 affair. When it was over, it didn't affect the country's view of him. We still liked Ike. But the U-2 mess created a lot of problems. It was a bitter setback.
Was deliberately sabotaged by our own national security establishment, specifically the CIA, in order to provoke a canceling of the summit conference. The CIA and the national security establishment did not want a rapprochement. They did not want détente between the Soviet Union and the United States. This mission, that is to say the U-2, flown by Francis Gary Powers, was deliberately sabotaged from the inside. The U-2 itself used a special mixture of gases in order to be able to fly at that altitude, but there was no rocket engine, and this plane was supposedly downed by a surface-to-air missile, nor was there any other jet aircraft in the world that could fly to this level because of the rarefied level of oxygen. In all probability, the mixture of gases for the engine of the U-2 was tampered with, and this starved the engine, forcing it to a lower level in order to get oxygen, and at this point the plane may have been hit. Francis Gary Powers cites the information given to the Soviet Union by Lee Harvey Oswald as being the probable cause for the reason the Soviets were able to shoot down his U-2. But a lot of history could be blamed on one lone nut.
It was necessary to research and find out the information that I was lacking. And
there must be something to it.
Hopelessly jammed, hopelessly jammed, hopelessly jammed, hopelessly jammed. Everything wiped out. This may be the last broadcast. Now, back to modern times.
I believe it's the weatherman there.
Oh well.
I believe it's the weatherman there.
I have climbed the highest mountains, and guess what? I've run through the fields, only to be with you. Yep, with you.
Where you at?
No one else, just you. And guess what? I have run. I have crawled. I have scaled these city walls. Yeah. That's really great. I can't believe I did it. But nevertheless, I have done that for you. Only to be with you. I have done all these things. Yeah, with you. The fat one, that's it. You're the fat one, and I want to be with you. Come on, I want to be with you.
Find a man. You gotta be prepared to meet your maker.
I want to be with you.
I'm after your ass, boy.
But on the other hand, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. But on the other hand, I still haven't found what I'm looking for. Nope, definitely not. I haven't found it. Nope, definitely not. I haven't found found it. But here's what else I've done. I have kissed honey lips, felt the healing in her fingertips. I've even done that. While I was doing that, you know, all the kissing on the honey lips, it burned like fire, and it reminded me of cheap melted plastic, the kind that makes little clouds of white vapor gas. Ooh, I like that vapor gas. It's kind of heavier than air, and it kind of slinks along the baseboard. And then when it bursts into flame, it makes those little strings of black smoke with little black ashes attached to them. Oh, isn't that nice? That's how I was kissing honey lips. But after all that, I still haven't found it. What I'm looking for, that is. I just don't know what to do. I just can't seem to find it. Oh, I was a worm in the night, and cold as a stone I was, and I believe in Kingdom Come, and all the colors bleeding into one big mess. You'll see me. Boy, that reminds me of Big Butt when he does a big circular mess on the carpet upstairs. I have to whip out the Bissell deep cleaning steam machine, then get the tea kettle and heat some water. Dump the hot water on the circular mess and then take care of it with the Bissell.
I'll be wearing a red and white baseball cap.
STP cleaner on that one also. Maybe the 409, but I'm not sure yet.
There's ABC Auto Parts on it.
Here's what else. You broke the bonds. You broke the goddamn bonds. You've loosened the chains. You carried a cross. And my shame. And my shame. Shame, 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 shame. So much shame.
Sounds like a real fancy dresser down there. I'm gonna whoop your fucking ass.
I don't believe it. I don't know what I'm talking about. I don't know what I'm talking about. But nevertheless, I still haven't found it. I haven't found what I'm looking for. I haven't found it. I'm looking for it, but I don't even know where it is. I don't even know anything anymore. I don't really know what to do. But I still haven't found it. No, that doesn't make any sense either, does it? I just don't know much of anything anymore. Maybe I ought to be shot point blank in the stamper right here tonight. Wouldn't that be just nice? Yeah. Well, I'll be jiggered. Look up there. Up there? I don't believe it. I'll be jiggered. There it is. I think I found it. There it is. Hey, no, it's moving around. There it is back. Way in the back. There it is. Yep. I'm so happy. I'm so good.
That damn sewer mouth is back again. Sounds like it's portable, too. Damn right. It's been getting stronger all the time here. Hey, sewer mouth, we're gonna get you.
Why are we doing these instrumentals? Because we got them?
That's the beginning of what's called the depersonalization of the artist. But that's also the beginning of the money-making process, because all of this is a business. It's making music, but it's also making money.
Making money, making money, making money, making money.
to copy what we want, use it as we wish. The freedom to copy what we want, use it as we wish. Copy what we want, and use it as we wish. The freedom to copy what we want, and use it as we wish. Old technologies get confused with new ones. Copy what we want, and use it as we wish. Old technologies get confused with new ones. The freedom to copy what we want and use it as we wish. Copy what we want and use it as we wish.
I remember when you rarely heard music unless you made it yourself. Now it's blaring at you from little plastic boxes set all around your personal landscape.
Literally billions of copies are made every day.
Canned music.
Literally billions of copies are made every day. I think it challenges notions we have about the relationship between a copy and an original.
Canned music.
You find this confusion of original and copy in all of the new technologies that use digital information.
Canned music.
But what it produces is, in a special sense, another kind of communication.
Canned sports.
What comes out of the machine is different from what goes into it.
Canned politics.
Understand I have nothing against you two.
Canned politics.
You may not know this, but they try to call me at the White House every night during the concert.
Have you ever really seen a candidate for office? Wake up, America, wake up. Have you ever really seen a candidate for office?
Could be our lucky night.
Wake up.
Get through to George. Hello, is that the White House?
Yes, may I help you?
Hi there. Look, you may know I call in a lot, and I'm always asking to speak to the president.
Wake up.
Yeah, now we can see the real thing.
Wake up, America, wake up.
Yeah, now we can see the real thing.
You two can pay higher taxes.
The real thing?
You two can see the U.S. get used to where it was.
Wake up, America, wake up. The real thing?
Sure, right while it happens. Or we can hear the real thing on tape.
Even if you too have done nothing wrong.
And I say, forget this economic policy. You two deserve better. Waste right out your paycheck. You know, you too, this you too. You know, you too, this you too. You know, you too, this you too. You know, you too, this you too.
Even if you too have done nothing wrong.
You know, you too, this you too. You know, you too, this you too. You know, you too, this you too. You know, you too.
Even if you too have done nothing wrong. Are your records perfect?
Ownership is redefined. It puts the power of reproducing information back into our own hands.
The information may be the same, but it's being put to new uses.
Are your records perfect?
Back into our own hands.
Our present copyright law was written in 1924. It was partially amended in 1988. But the roots of the law lie back in the 18th century.
But the old boundaries between... But the old boundaries between... But the old boundaries between...
But the old boundaries between what was my information and what was yours have become confused.
The Act is obviously pre-photocopier. In fact, just to put it in context, it's pre-radio, really. It's pre-commercial radio. It's pre-television. It's certainly pre-computer. It's geared. It's pre-modern records. It's pre-compact discs. It's pre-almost everything that we come to look at in modern life as communicating information. It does bring copyright law into disrespect, and it brings law generally into disrespect. If one has a system which makes common activities wrong in the eyes of the law, and yet everybody is doing it, then you begin to wonder, is law worthy of respect?
Information moves about in new ways.
Few of us, when we borrow a book from a library, think of the words in it as still belonging to someone else. We just copy them as we wish. This may be wrong, but that's the reality.
Information moves about in new ways.
You know, there was an earlier time when people copied whatever they wanted and never worried about copyright.
Text is removed from context.
The freedom to copy what we want and use it as we wish. Copy what we want and use it as we wish. The freedom to copy what we want and use it as we wish. Copy what we want, use it as we wish. Copy what we want, use it as we wish. Music really is wonderful. I'm proud to be a part of it. I mean, music really is wonderful. I'm proud to be a part of it.
Snuggles. Snuggles.
Dead Dog Records.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog Records.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog Records.
Snuggles.
What's going on anyway?
Snuggles.
There's something downright weird about this whole thing.
Dead Dog.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog Records.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog.
Snuggles.
Lame brain idea was it to get us in the record business.
Snuggles.
We've been snugged. We've been snugged.
Where is he? I don't know. I can't see nothing. But you don't have to see me now. Just settle down, you two. We're going to have a little talk. Drag out your harmonica, Jingles. Might as well have a little music while we're waiting. Snuggles.
We've been snugged.
Snuggles.
We've been snugged.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog Records.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog. Dead Dog Records. Dead Dog.
Snuggles.
Lame brain idea was it to get us in the record business.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog lives.
Snuggles.
Dead Dog lives.
Snuggles.
We've been snugged.
Snuggles.
We've been snugged.
Snuggles.
Will somebody find out the goddamn answer?
Yeah, the guy that was talking to the stairmaster, bring it back.
This is American Top 40. This is blowing.
Hey, sewer mouth.
Yeah, I'm on a frequency up at you can find me. There's a fine band out there.
This is blowing. Because I can't say this. You know, this is American Top 40. See, and we just said American Top 40 with a jingle. I can't say it again.
Here we go with the shit trying to find him again. Oh, we're fun. You goddamn fucking foul. You couldn't find your fucking asshole if your fucking butt wasn't connected to it.
On to the first time quick, buddy.
You never found anybody anywhere, anytime. You never have given out his correct address, his fucking ride-on description or a car or nothing. You got some fucking bullshit info.
My son Andy Kerr, by the way, my name's Graham Kerr. When my son was just 10, he made his first attempt to follow in my footsteps. And I think he was jolly successful. You know what he cooked? His favorite dish, scrambled eggs. They were soft and creamy, and I really couldn't have done better myself. I'd like to share our secret for perfect scrambled eggs.
I'd like a piece of meat.
Just whip 4 eggs together without liquid.
I'd like a piece of meat.
and season them. And then pop them into melted butter.
I said...
You know, when the butter is just at the point of browning and smells like hazelnuts, that's the time to add the eggs.
I'd like a piece of meat.
Stir them rapidly. Stir them rapidly. Stir them rapidly. And when they look just right, add a 1/4 cup of cold milk.
I'd like a piece of meat.
And stir again until they're heated through.
I'd like a piece of meat. I'd like a piece of...
This little trick halts the cooking process that so often makes eggs dry. Fresh eggs are one of the world's great delicacies. They deserve to be treated with respect. Right? 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 Right?
I'd like a loaf of bread.
Right?
I'd like a loaf of bread. I'd like a loaf of bread.
Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
Right?
Wait a minute, you told me you heard my voice through the toaster?
You gotta be kidding. Something is up.
Your toaster's like a speakerphone.
Now it begins.
The loudspeaker spoke up and said, the loudspeaker spoke up and said, the loudspeaker spoke up and said, Christianity is stupid. Christianity is stupid. Christianity is stupid. Christianity is stupid. Communism is good. Communism is good. Communism is good. Communism is good. Did you hear that? Did you hear that? Give up. Give up. Give up. Christianity is stupid. Christianity is stupid.
Oh my God.
Communism is good. Communism is good.
Oh my God.
From 5 o'clock in the morning till 10 o'clock at night.
Oh my God. Oh my God.
Communism is good. Christianity is stupid.
Oh my God.
Communism is good. Christianity is stupid. Give up. Give up. Give up.
Shop as usual and avoid panic buying.
Report to Casey under arrest.
He said we had to listen to that, and then when we went to sleep at night, in our dreams we would hear, communism is good, communism is good, communism is good, Christianity is stupid, Christianity is stupid. Is that what you want, ladies and gentlemen?
If tomorrow all the things were gone, I worked for all my life, and I had to start again.
I've been through that part of the country. And my main interests are in fishing and hunting. They happen to be hobbies of mine personally. And you have a great deal going on the recreational field up there. I've been through that part of the country. I've been through that part of the country. I've been through that part of the country. I've been through that part of the country.
If you wanna drink, go get screwed.
Prophet, prestige, pleasure, profit, prestige, pleasure, power, profit, 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 prestige, pleasure.
Thanks. Thank you. In case you're actually interested about everything that's actually happened to us in the last year and want to help, it would take too long to explain here, but if you write a nice letter to Casey Kasem, we actually think we might still be able to get our single back from Island Records. And the address is actually in the back of that magazine that we're selling. Or you can get it from me later on. Anyway, tonight's the last night of our tour. And believe me, it really is. And there's a piece we've been wanting to do. Yeah! There's a piece that we've been wanting to do every night on the tour, but we just can't because it's the kind of thing you can really only do once. So we've been saving it for the last night, and tonight's the night.
Execute a perfect cut.
Trained fingers and a thumb.
Thumb.
Perfect cut.
I am a man with 3 fingers, a man with 3 fingers on my hand. Oh, I am a man with 3 fingers, but that doesn't count my index finger.
4 fingers and a thumb extended in friendship.
Or my thumb.
Another perfect cut.
You're greater than...
I am a man with 2 fingers, a man with 2 fingers on my hand.
and the thumb are always servants of the soul.
What?
Or my
To the ground. It's coming towards me. He's climbing up your leg. Knock it loose.
I am a man with one finger, a man with one finger on my hand. Oh, I am a man with one finger, but that doesn't count. My ring finger, my middle finger, my index finger.
You're overreacting.
Or my thumb.
Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody. Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
But that's America.
Mr. Nobody.
And you're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
And you're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
And you're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
And you're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
And you're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
You're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
I'm gonna have to cut it out, but we're overreacting.
Mr. Nobody.
But that's America.
Mr. Nobody.
Chang came out of his faint, asked the time, then said he'd be dead in just 5 minutes.
Or my thumb!
Another
Just remember my ending. It was violent, and I'm more the wiser for it.
I look right there, right?
Mm-hmm. Sure.
See, my hands are stained red because every night I cut off, you know, you figure it out, I've cut off 95 fingers in the last 3 weeks.
Have you?
Now, I have to eat while we do this.
Oh, okay.
I'm having
I'm with you.
I'm going to have a delightful Lewis Seafood Emporium fish burger.
Okay.
I'm actually surprised I managed to get mostly pseudo-vegetarian and pseudo-vegetarian food on this tour.
So are you a vegetarian?
basically, I'll have an occasional slice of bacon now and then if I end up somewhere like we got to eat at the Waffle House, which is all over the South, I guess, but not on the West Coast.
Do they have Waffle Houses up there?
No, I'd never seen it. It was very exciting, actually. And they play, you know, the Waffle House song. They actually have the Waffle House song. What are you pointing it at, anyway?
I don't know, probably your ear or something like that.
Well, it's great. The jukebox actually plays this song that's all about waffles and why you're in there eating waffles.
You ever had Black and Voodoo beer before?
Here it is. I don't know if you can show people drinking beer on television or not. No, it looked good. I have my Black and Voodoo beer, and I also had blackened tuna for dinner. Only the second time in my life I've had any kind of blackened fish.
Well,
it was very exciting. It kind of looks like something that's been lying out in the middle of the road and gotten run over a bunch of times. And
Mark, this is my first question to you.
If you could be any tube you wanted, what tube would it be? What's the question?
The question is inside it.
Oh. I can't see it. It's Dear Mark. What's in there? Can you see anything there?
I can bear. Oh yeah, I can see it.
Well,
there's nothing in there, huh?
Good Lord, it fell out. It's a fax. This looks like a giant fax. This looks like a page from the Subgenius book.
You're correct. My first question to you is, on the back of Escape from Noise, Merry Christmas, keep it hanging on the wall.
Oh great, thanks very much.
Sure.
Doesn't this, oh this is like a blueprint type paper, right? And it turns kind of yellowy after a while?
Should do all right. It's actually a poster printer. We got to, like I said, I'm an AV tech. We got to.
Yep.
All right. Well, my first question to you is: back at the Escape of Noise, you list a Reverend certain Evans or Ivan or something.
Ivan Stang
from Church of the Subgenius.
Yeah. Now you want to know what he did on that song? He did this. That's the Church of the Subgenius salute. And that's all he did. Unfortunately, because we chose to use the word larynx, people thought we meant he was doing the voices, but as we corrected ourselves in Helter Stupid in the liner notes, the song Christianity is Stupid, the main vocal of the fellow saying, Christianity is stupid, give up, is the Reverend Estes W. Perkle from Louisiana. And it was taken from a record that we found in a, flea market somewhere or something. And that's what that is. And it's a real preacher, taken out of context. He was talking about the communists invading America and that they're going to take over and they're going to brainwash you by locking you up in a concentration camp and broadcasting over a loudspeaker 17 hours a day. Christianity is stupid, communism is good, give up.
So, what is it? How do you one of those like the Church of the Subgenius folks out in is it out from California or just how does that all work? I mean, is that a real thing, or what's the scoop? Some people say it's just a fictional thing, and
what? It's a real thing. They make lots of money. That's how real it is. It's so real that they make money off it. The main guy who runs it and makes money off it is Ivan Stang, and he lives in Dallas, Texas. There are a bunch of those kind of Subgenius-related people in Berkeley and in San Francisco. Though, if you want my honest opinion about it, it meant a lot to me when I first encountered it, but I sort of feel like the joke has gotten old. And it's, I don't know, I think it's kind of starting to outlive its usefulness, but that's just my opinion. I still love all those guys that I met from the church. They're great guys, and they're a lot of fun. But it just seems like it's kind of a one joke thing. They've built an incredible edifice of information and stuff around one joke, and they've done an excellent job of it, but just can't last forever.
See, I was wondering, who would you cite influences into what you do?
Lewis's Seafood Emporium here in beautiful downtown Norfolk.
Love it. A lot of people would say that you guys are, really different. There's no one to compare you to, or that kind of thing.
That's what I'd say.
Would you cite anybody, or would you like to say that certain people have influenced you, or certain other bands, or certain other compositions? I don't know. I don't want to put words in your mouth, but like people like Frank Zappa or anything like that. Would you cite anything as influences, or?
Well, what would you think they would be? I've never listened to Frank Zappa much. Never. I've heard some of his older records from the '60s, like Lumpy Gravy and Uncle Meat, which I think are pretty neat records, but that's about the only thing I've ever heard that I kind of liked.
For instance, we heard Gershwin Kinsley, I believe is his name, album playing earlier today. And
that's a great record.
Bands like Popcorn and things like that, they use sound compositions, kind of the Marshall McLuhan of the 60s going into the 70s electronic
Well, I
music
like
sounds.
those records. The Essential Perry and Kingsley, which is from the 60s, it's available on CD on Vanguard Records. An incredible work. It's sort of wacky electronic pop music, all done with tape editing and splicing and sounds. It's just amazing. But it didn't influence what we do. It's just something we found and just sort of loved. And I love playing it before our show because people seem to, I think more people should know about them. It's sort of historically speaking, they're pretty neat in the evolution of sort of where the avant-garde meets popular culture, But as far as, whenever you see these signs up where people say, bass player needed, band forming, must be into, Soundgarden, Johnny Mathis, Barry Como, Black Flag, whatever their influences are, I never understood that because I thought, well, I love music, I love all kinds of music, but I don't want to sound like any of the records I have because I already have those records. Those people already did that, so I want to sound like something I've never heard before. So we work really hard to do that. So I don't have much of an answer. I mean, I can think of certain records when I was a kid that influenced me to make records, but not to copy them. Like, there's a record by this guy Mike Oldfield called Tubular Bells, and it was sort of a pseudo hit in '73, and it was these half-hour-long compositions on each side, and he did them all by himself. He was only 19 years old. He recorded everything himself, and when I sort of understood that, it just really impressed me. I heard it when I was like 15 years old or 14, and it just made a big impression on me that this kid did this thing himself.
You started young. At what age did you start?
Well, I guess around, 16 or 17. We made the first record when I was 17 or 18. I was still in high school. And, I was just sort of like the typical weird white middle-class suburban kid, getting called a fag all the time, beat up, made to feel like I was something terribly wrong with me for being just different, or who I was, really. And I sort of reacted to that whole environment by, making strange noises and tape loops. And then my friends and I, we decided to actually make a record and do something that I guess teenagers aren't supposed to do, especially in 1980s, put out your own record, which we did. We made the album covers by hand because we didn't know how to print them, or we figured it'd be cheaper. Grapefruit juice. Nothing like cold glass of grapefruit juice after a show.
So you guys have developed since then. How would you say, just like really quickly, how would you say the band has developed since those days, and where do you think it'll go next?
Well, we're starting to grow facial hair, and I started to need to use a deodorant, and what?
What do you think is next? I mean, you've gone through this.
More lawsuits. We want to get sued again.
Copyright seemed to be a big thing about the band, maybe one of the main social statements.
The thing is that we've been infringing on people's copyrights since we started in 1980, and it was never this conscious thing that we wanted to set out to do. It was just, that was our natural response to our environment,
How do
you don't live in a natural world, folks. You may think you do, but you don't. It's all buildings and cement and electrical conduit all over underneath the ground, and everywhere there's media, television, billboards, advertisements, radio, public access TV. It's all a media world we live in, and it's all fake. It's all artificial. It's just built out of our heads. It doesn't really exist. It's like this phrase, virtual reality. I mean, we're living in a virtual reality. It doesn't exist. So, if you're making art or you're being creative, that's the environment you're reacting to. And for Negativland, it's just like a very, very natural thing for us to react to this completely unnatural world that we live in.
So we make stuff by taking bits of the environment around us, which happens to be a media environment, and we chop it up, scramble it up, and spit it back out again, and make new things out of it. And some of what we do is serious, and some of it's just fun. And unfortunately, we chopped up and spit out the wrong person, and they stepped on us. And that was Island Records and the group U2. But this is the first time it's happened after doing this for 12 years that we were actually smashed. So
a lot of people are probably wondering about the U2 thing. Could you just briefly summarize that, see what's happened with it, and where do you think it's gonna go, how it affect you, or music in general?
No, I can't briefly summarize that. It's very complicated. It has a lot of different angles to it. Even if you don't like Negativland and their music, there's a lot of interesting issues, and this we basically, in order to sort of deal with all the aspects of what's happened, our new release, pardon me, our new release is actually a book. It's a 100-page book. It comes with a CD magazine, comes with a CD with this magazine, and it's excerpts from the lawsuits, the press releases, the faxes, all the information, all put together in one volume that you can read yourself, and you can make up your own mind about what it all means. You might not be interested in reading it though, but even if you don't like the music we do, I think we're addressing some issues that are kind of important to anyone who's interested in art and music and creativity and our culture and how it's evolving, because it's evolving in some ways that are very, very sad and very, very oppressive. Because the corporations are controlling and owning everything in a way that takes something like our little joke, this single U2 that we made, and smashes us utterly. You know, we've lost. We're losing all the income from all the work we've done since 1986. You know, is going towards paying this. And so part of what we're talking about in the book is about copyright law and how copyright laws are now wrong. They've been out. The technology has sort of outstripped the law. The laws are irrelevant and they need to be changed.
What sort of impact do you think that your case, the Negativland versus U2 basically, or Island Records, what sort of impact do you think that this will have as it gets straightened out one way or the other, as it finally comes down? What effect do you think it'll have on the music industry?
Not much, unfortunately. You know, it's hard to know. I mean, you know, you do what you do in your life. You do what you can, but it's really hard to know when you ever have an effect. You know, it's a very subtle thing. How close are you?
I was pretty close. But okay, well...
it's hard to know. No, let me finish. It's hard to know, but I think what would have really helped is if our case had gone to trial. That, if you really, really want to make some change, you kind of have to, in a case such as this, you have to establish some legal precedent. And we didn't do that because our label that we were on at the time, SST Records, wanted to settle it out of court. They wanted us to go along with what they felt was the right way to settle it. And because we felt that they were the party that was the most immediately at risk. It's kind of some legalese there for you. But they were the ones that stood to lose the most money. Even though both Negativland and the label SST were sued, we felt that the right thing to do, the fair thing, was to go along with their decision, even though we didn't agree with it exactly. So they settled out of court, and we were led to believe that our label would split the losses 50-50. But that turned out to not be the case. They demanded we pay the whole amount, which is about $90,000. And we tried to negotiate a split. They wouldn't talk to us, and we quit the label. We still have this standing offer to split the losses 50-50. And at the same time, we were dealing with Island Records and dealing with the media and getting out information about what had happened to us. And you know, there was about 6,000 records sold, and there were about 7,000 more that were sent back to Island to be destroyed. And we certainly, I think, in the end, terribly embarrassed Island Records. It caused the group U2 a tremendous amount of bad press and ill will, even though U2 didn't actually sue Negativland at all. Island Records did, but the way the press spun the story, they ignored that fact and really played it as this kind of, you know, because we picked the perfect band. We picked the perfect band to have their label sue us, because of U2 and their whole image, the irony of the image of U2 and the fact that their label was crushing us, you know, with this, it was perfect. You know, if we'd gone and, what if we'd done a record and called it Michael Bolton or Garth Brooks? I don't think it would have been so good. But you know, I gotta stop now. But you know what inspired the whole thing? It was the tape of Casey Kasem, in case you're wondering why we even did it at all. It's because we got this incredible tape of Casey Kasem doing these outtakes. And we loved it so much. And he was talking about the group U2, and he's screwing up and swearing and all that. What? I gotta go. But anyway, that's basically it, you know. We love the tape so much, we said, we gotta make something out of this. This is too great not to share.